and the White Sox. Strike three, Volpe down looking. He does not like that call.
The Yankees have had enough.
And he's showing the pitch that is being caught. And then he's mimicking Laz Diaz. Well, I'm sure that Boone's been thrown out.
So now let's break this play down. So my former teammate Brian Shaw's on the mound, and he throws a cutter on the outer third, and he gets a strike three call. Yasmani Grandal reaches across his body and gets the call, and Anthony Volpe, he is upset. He is terribly mad, and as he walks off, he's shaking his head like, that guy is terrible, that guy is awful. But let's go back now and dig a little deeper. So Brian Shaw's on the mound. He throws across his body, plus he's on the right side of the rubber, and Anthony Volpe is in a closed batting stance. So when Shaw is throwing to him, it looks and feels like the ball is coming from here and it's going right across his body, right? And Volpe is basically stepping to even out his feet, and you can see how his feet goes even now, but it goes away from the baseball, and this ball is going at an angle to the outer third of the plate. So to Volpe, it's looking like the ball is way on the outside of the plate, but it's really a strike call on the outer third. And you can see how his whole body is moving this way, and that's the reason why he is in this bad position right now. And if we dig a little deeper here, you'll see that the red right here is his hot zone and the blue is his cold zone, and they threw this ball in the outer third, which is pretty lukewarm. So by him stepping out and the angle of the pitcher, it seemed like this ball was way far away, which it really wasn't that far. But anyways, Aaron Boone's upset, and he comes at Laz Diaz and he's telling him, you stink, you stink. I can't read lips as well as John Boy. I'm sure John Boy's going to do a breakdown and talk all about it, but I did see him say, you stink, you freaking stink. So we'll go with that. And he just lays into him, and I just want to show this spot right here. So he goes to the plate, he points at where the pitch was, okay, and then he marks in the other side of the batter's box, which is crazy to me, and then he does a strike three call. When I seen this, it gave me flashbacks to my hitting coach in AA. His name is Philip Wellman. He has that infamous ejection where he's on the ground and he throws that like grenade, and I'll show a little video clip about it. And if you guys would like me to break down that video and react to it, let me know in the comment section. And it just made me think of that scenario. But this one was really great, man, and he got his money's worth. And I want to show what the internet did when they seen this. You see here, this person says, when I'm pulling the bungee tight and it breaks and snaps me in the nuts. This guy says, me trying to dab in the year 2023. That's hilarious. This guy's doing the Harry Potter. Oh man, that had me cracking up. And when he first did it, I actually thought of Fernando Rodney, so that was great. So the internet wins with that. And so he goes right back to him, and then they go after each other again, and they're just yelling in each other's face, and they're just giving it to each other. After this, he goes back to the dugout, and it made me think, was he right or was he wrong? And I think he was both. So the pitch that Brian Shaw threw was this pitch right here, and it was a strike. So Boone was wrong with this call, but he was right in that if we look over here, we see that Laz Diaz had a 66% called strike accuracy for that game. The average is 88%, and he called 66% strikes that night. So he was a little bit off. And you can see here in the red, these are all the pitches he called strikes that were obviously balls. And this made me think for a second. At the major league level, the pitcher and the catcher are going to take every edge they can get, everything they can get. So Yasmani Grandal was just going a little bit further off, a little bit further off, a little bit further off, and just taking advantage of Laz Diaz. Kind of remind me of Greg Maddux. Greg Maddux threw a pitch on the outer third of the plate, and the umpire called a strike. He would just move it over just a little bit more, and then he'd move it over a little bit more. And by the time the seventh inning, that ball was like 2 balls off the plate, and he was getting that for a strike because he just kept throwing it a little further off, a little further off. And that's what happens at the major league level. You can see here, Yasmani Grandal stole a lot of pitches, and that ended up being 1.59 runs for the Chicago White Sox. To think about that, just the calls that he was giving, it ended up going to the Chicago White Sox and was almost 2 runs. That is wild to me. And when I seen this information, I was like, whoa. After looking over all the information, what's your conclusion? Were you watching the game? What were your thoughts? I'd love to know. And if you know of another good story that I should cover, comment below. I love reading you guys' comments. So thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and I'll talk to you guys soon.